Kia ora, I'm James, and I'm a proud property owner of an investment property with Staircase Group, and this is my story. I'm now retired from the teaching profession. I was an English teacher and a deputy principal for quite a few years. My background is I was born and raised in Gisborne. I was educated in Hamilton. I was married for 30 years and I've lived in Auckland for the majority of my life, and the schools that I've taught at have been a variety of schools, about 5 secondary schools in the Auckland area. So the first impression of Staircase was that in fact it was an incredibly professional organisation. As I said, someone came to the house and the whole thing looked very safe, very secure. She was able to answer all of my worries about what would happen, and the whole process just looked really, really professional. Now, we deal with a number of people in our lives, sometimes who are related, who are in businesses, and sometimes we think they're a bit dodgy. But in this case, I didn't get any qualms. I didn't get any sense that I didn't want to proceed with the process. And when I went further and actually went into doing the financial arrangement, it was the same kind of atmosphere. People are very competent, very professional, very experienced, and that makes you feel secure. I was sceptical, and I've never been a person that wanted to have anything like an investment portfolio, etc. I just lack a confidence in financial matters. I'm okay in kind of like running a house, but I didn't want to have anything that would be additional to that. But I could see that there is a good reason to use some equity in your present property to develop some income for you later on. So I was kind of thinking about that anyway. So they were very good about educating me so that I understood it in pretty simple terms about finances. The key thing that struck me was the process of self-managing. So you don't have to do much. You have to know what your financial position is going to be and what you have to contribute. But you'll also know that the whole process of home investment is very self-managing. It's not the kind of thing that you need to be worrying about on a daily basis. Not as complicated as I imagined, and I understood from the process that there is a mechanism in this country whereby you can own more than one property. I didn't want to have a portfolio, but I did want an investment in another property to give me further income in the future. And that all seemed possible. They did configure it so it was possible for me in my circumstance and my financial position. So that was the great kind of revelation, because I was thinking through the process. My overall concern always is about financial security. They made it clear to me that I wasn't taking a huge risk. I was taking a risk that I could see I could manage, and that there would be benefits in the future. The investment in the property changed my view, which said, when you do retire, your life isn't going to become so minimal that you're going to be very unhappy. So the investment property adds, I suppose you could call, additional income into my retirement life that is going to keep my happiness level at a good level. I did discuss the investment that I was going to make with friends and family, and went through kind of like what the financial implications were with them, and they were all highly supportive. They could see that my intent was to, while I was in full working and full earning mode, to actually, I could see that I was wanting to develop the most for my future from that decision. That this wasn't a decision about living a life of having a huge portfolio of investment properties. This was a man by himself on one income, facing his retirement, just undertaking one thing that would make that future look better. I would recommend Staircase. I think if I go to one particular aspect, that is the property management, the management on site of my property has been outstanding. I could never ever have managed it the way. Yeah, I paid for the service, I get that, but the way that Staircase set up the finances, it is self-managing, and each section of Staircase kind of like supports the other. So the person that helps you with your tax return, and the person that helps you with your mortgage finance, and the person who helps you with actually the management of the property, the physical management of the property, they're all kind of like connected, and they all work in a way that makes it easy for you to have property management. So I would recommend Staircase.